Hello, my name is Franz and today I will continue the Colorizer tutorials. In the previous tutorials we have seen how to colorize a keyframe and how to propagate the color over to the scene using two different ways, one with the color image sample and the second one with Colorize mask. Today I'm going to show you a third possibility to bring color over the time. This time we assume that we already have colorized reference frames. So those reference frames could be colorized with any tools you have, including the DIAMANT-Film Colorizer, of course. But we assume that the keyframes were colorized externally. So now I want to bring in the external keyframes into my system. For this, I have a new filter, or I have a filter which is actually called external source. So this by default expands to one frame. And when I go to the parameters of the filter, I can see I can load an image over here, or I can drag and drop an image here in. I have my reference here and I will drop it down to this. Okay, and luckily I have a reference frame on the last one as well. So I put in another external source with the second reference frame. So when we toggle before after, we see here now, okay, colorized, and this one colorized. That's nice. So, but there are still a lot of frames in between which are not colorized, and that's actually where we began with the DIAMANT-Film Colorizer to develop a filter which allows to propagate the colors between reference frames. And this filter is still in there, and it's called Colorize. There's a very old tutorial about the Colorize showing you, giving you a lot of details about this. But here the assumption is we have reference frames. So what I do, I have the Colorize filter and my source underneath. So I make this frame a reference frame. That's important. So I click the R key. So it's a reference frame. Now I go to the last frame and make this a reference frame as well. So now I could go into my render section and do a render shot. What it will do now is it will transform the colors from the reference frames onto the whole sequence. Compared to the Colorize mask, I do not have any masks because it's not, this algorithm is not a mask tracking, it's a color propagation, and it doesn't have any masks or something in between. It just tries to flood the color over the time. So let's see what it did. So it's the rendering is finished for this scene. And let's play through the scene. So that's a fully automatic propagation now between the reference frame. I can do a side by side here as well. So far we haven't done any manual intervention yet, but the Colorize filter does allow it. So I can create more keyframes and I can paint on keyframes. For instance, if you want to look at here that the colors from the trouser were spilling off to the background because he was moving back, and this was not tracked the way it should. So how do we fix that actually? Well, we want to fix this color and this color here. So I could easily create a new object like a background wall, something like this. And I will capture the color directly from this picture. So I go into my, do a screenshot, yeah, and I do a screenshot from this area. And I will learn the colors from here, create a gradient map from this, from the blacks to here. That's nice. Okay. And I go to my segmentation tool. When I click now in here, it will ask me if you want to create a reference frame. I say yes. I could have said it before as well. Let's turn on the mask. And that's fixed. And I can use the same thing over here. Right, let's do this. Okay, nice. I need some flowers here as well. The flowers are not nice as well. So I have the flowers already as a gradient map over here. And well, let's take a normal brush actually to paint now on these flowers. My gradient map. And so on. I'm not sure if this is a flower. It is. Okay, so you can be, of course, as precise as you want and need, but the important thing here is um, actually that we know that we can add or improve frames in between. And now these frames, they do have a mask, but only this one. So when I render it now, it will then it has then 3 reference frames apparently for the color transfer, and all the information will be used. So it improves more or less uh, the color transfer by adding new reference frames. Okay, so that's another way how we could use Diamant-Film Colorizer to colorize a scene. Thanks for listening to this tutorial, and please check out the other tutorials as well. Bye.